Hi, welcome back to Will Candles. My name is Sherry and I make videos all about candle making and the candle business. Today's video is all about 6 brand new fragrances from CandleScience for the upcoming fall and winter season.
There's no need to complicate things. Let's stick to the basics.
Okay, so let's get into these 6 fragrances. I put these down in alphabetical order. Yes, I did make candles and I only allowed them to cure for 2 or 3 days, and believe it or not, that was pretty well enough to tell whether this was a good or bad situation. Okay, so the first one, I'm going to try to show these to you all, is Apple Ginger Spritz, and hopefully we can get this. I think it's focusing. I hope so. Maybe? Yeah. Okay, so let's take a whiff out of here. So I have this. I also have my test candle, so I will be able to tell you how strong it is out of the bottle and the test candle. And it is super strong coming out of this bottle. It is like a 9 coming straight out of the bottle. Out of the candle, which I made with my normal coconut soy wax, C6 wax. And once I made the candle, and as you can see, I've already burned it. It is, the cold throw maybe is about a 6 coming out of the candle. Okay, so let's talk about the fragrance notes before I get into the hot throw of me burning this candle. So the fragrance notes for, I think I'm off beat today. Something is going on. I'm just off beat. So just work with me here. We're going to get through these 6 fragrances from CandleScience. Okay, so for Apple Ginger Spritz, the top notes, which I can tell you right away, you're going to smell ginger. So the top notes include ginger, clove, and anise. The middle notes are apple, strawberry, and jasmine. The jasmine I did not pick up on, but it's just a little something in there and you kind of can't quite figure out what it is, so maybe it is the jasmine. The base notes are cedar and patchouli. Okay, so let's talk about the hot throw on this little puppy here. Let me tell you something. I'm already just going to tell you, coming out the gate, most people say the best for last, but I went in alphabetical order, so it's not going to be about the best for last. This is my #1 favorite here. This is the one that I could not get enough of. Okay, so I put it in a room, and I didn't test in bathrooms this time. I tested in bedrooms. I put it in the, well, I should say my grandkids' bedroom that I keep for them. And I went back in about an hour, and it was very fragrant. Immediately walking in the door, I immediately get hit with that ginger and clove, and then all the other good stuff that's in here, the fruit, what is it, the apple, the strawberry. Okay, so I go in to smell in an hour, and I go back in 2 hours to check the melt pool. Okay, melt pool was great. The fragrance was, when I opened the door, before I got to the door, I could smell it. The fragrance was like whoosh. And I was like, okay, we are off to a great start. So let me tell you, you cannot go wrong with Apple Ginger Spritz. There's a lot of possibilities in here. To me, this candle could be for fall or for like a Christmas holiday candle, all year round. Depends on what you name it. So be careful what you name this candle scent if you choose to use it. But Apple Ginger Spritz is definitely a winner in my book. And oh, got to go to my scorecard, the most important thing. Okay, so I gave it cold throw from the jar was about a 6 or a 7. The hot throw, when it was burning in the room, I gave it 8.5. So definitely this goes in the winner circle. Yes. Okay. So we are going to move on to number 2, which is going to be evergreen and apple. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead off my notes for the cold throw for that one. I gotta find, yeah, evergreen and apple. So the cold throw out of the bottle was a 7, and I still agree with that. Right away, the apple doesn't hit you like first for me. It is the evergreen, it is the pine, the woodsy scent that hits me first. So then I made the test candle. Here you go. Here's the matching pair. Okay, so put the candle in the room, and again, I, within the first hour, went in. I can only describe this candle as just full of winter beauty. I mean, it's not over, because some pines and some woodsy can be so overpowering that you can't really. This evergreen was just pleasant and just, oh wow, just a beautiful scent. So I'm really loving this, and it could be very well of what it is paired with. So let's go to the top notes, and you're going to have, and this is so strange, you're going to have apple and mandarin are the top notes. The middle notes are the fir, juniper, and cranberry. Base notes are cedar and sugar. And let me tell you, this jar here, I can definitely, of course, the fir, the juniper, but definitely the apple, the cran apple, or cranberry, I'm sorry, and the cedar. The cedar is really solid in this candle. This right here, this is, I love this. I love it. It is probably one of the best Christmassy, evergreenish, pine-ish candle that I have ever smelled. So this gets a major thumbs up. Not my favorite. I already gave away my favorite. So just know that any of the other ones are not going to be my #1 favorite. But this comes in very, very close to, I'm going to say, to second. So let's talk about what I scored it on the hot throw. I scored this one, where is it? A 7.5. So that is really for coconut soy wax, and oh, also I added all these fragrances. I know that the manufacturer's recommendation says up to 6% more with an additive. I do a lot of my candles from CandleScience at 10%. There are some that the candles don't do well. I don't know if the fragrance itself is pulling up through the wick correctly, but you have to test it. If you can get it to test well at 10%, and it's not, because sometimes the scent is so powerful, you don't want to put 10%. I mean, I have one candle in particular that I have to bring it down to about 5% to get it to like be okay, like not run people out of the room. But this one, definitely, this was a 10% one, and it was just amazing. I have zero complaints about this candle, so I'm very excited to have this to introduce to you. Okay, so that was evergreen and apple, also in the winner circle. Okay, so next we're gonna go to, oh, okay. I was so hoping and praying that this was gonna smell so good. I've been trying to get a scent similar to this for so long. Maybe I've been watching too much of Bridgerton or Queen Charlotte or any of those shows, or even Call the Midwife. But this next scent is High Tea. Let's see if we can get it to focus. Come on. There we go. So there is High Tea. Here's the matching candle. Oh, finally get a fragrance that I love. It's not as strong as I thought it was going to be. When I smelled it straight out of the bottle, I was like, whoa, you know, that's a powerful black tea. When I say this is tea, this is tea. This is tea with a capital T. And it just smelled so lovely. It was perfect. And so when I got it in the mail and I opened it up, I was like, please let this smell good. Please let this smell good. And it did. It really did. It did not disappoint me. So let's go through the fragrance notes to start with. I'm kind of going crazy today. Let's just roll with me. How about that? We could just do that. Okay, so it's like usually I have things so in order, and these I wrote down. They're so out of order, so I'm trying to make sense of them as I go along. But it's okay if it doesn't make sense, as long as you get the information. So back to high tea. The top notes are bergamot and lemon. I did not get the lemon as a top note unless the middle notes kind of outlit them. Okay, so the middle notes are black tea and lavender. And I thought, oh, okay, that's kind of a unique combination. For me it is. And then the base notes were amber and musk. I definitely get the amber and musk because it's so grounded, but yet it's so light and airy. So let's go and see what I wrote in my notes. So for cold throw, I gave it a 7. And for hot throw, I gave it a 7 to a 7.5. So let me tell you about this. I've been looking to create dinner candles. Like, you know, if you're sitting down and you're having a meal, you don't want to smell flowers. You don't want to smell anything like heavy or masculine or even woodsy. I can't imagine that while I'm trying to have a meal. But iced tea, you're going to be, if you're served tea, or you're accustomed to the scent of tea, this is just that perfect fragrance that I could imagine sitting down to any meal and having this candle at the table burning, or just walking in for dinner and having, I had a, and that's why I also think that this candle has a connection to me. Growing up, I spent a lot of time in Maryland with my dad and with my dad's side of the family. And I had one aunt, Aunt Dottie, who always, I don't know, I never did figure out why her house always smelled like iced tea, but it did. And it never failed. All those years, even as an adult when I went back to visit her. She has passed away since, and I will say this. She was the one, her and my uncle, well, we called him Uncle Baby Lewis because he was a shorter guy. But so my Aunt Dottie and my Uncle Baby Lewis took care of me while my dad worked. And then when he would get off work on Fridays, he would come and get me. They took amazing care of me. Those are just amazing child. I remember splashing the water out of the pool and he's saying, that's it, you're not getting any more water. And of course my Aunt Dottie say, Louie, fill it back up again. And then by this time it was like the 3rd or 4th time of filling it up for water. But this is amazing fragrance for me. It takes me back to my childhood. And I think lots of times when you're thinking about your customers, you want to try to find things that can take them back to memories or to, you know, just good times or something special in their life. But this is definitely one of them. I love this, and I am going to do some dinner candles with these, and I just hope my customers like them. So I don't know whose preference this will be, but if you decide to go with this high tea fragrance, or even if you blend it, they did have some, I didn't write those notes down, the suggestions that you could blend this high tea with, but you will not go wrong. It is a beautiful fragrance, and especially if you're a tea lover or either hot tea or cold tea, it's an amazing fragrance. So thumbs up for high tea. And I think that's all the notes that I have written down for you. Okay, so we're going to move right along this time. And believe it or not, we are halfway through. Okay, so number 4 is Marrakesh Market. This was a very, very different fragrance for me. And there it is. Let's see if we can get it to focus. There we go. Marrakesh Market. This scent smelled like it was so complicated, but it was just, it was not like Nag Champa. It was not like any of the, like the ones that kind of smelled like incense to me. It reminded me of like an open market where they had all these exotic or fresh seasonings and just I'm trying to think, like a spice market. like, you know, cooking spices. And it is amazing. It even caused me to stutter. It is amazing. So let me just get into, so the cold throw out of this bottle, and it's so good. This is another one you just want to keep smelling, was a 7.5. Here is the matching candle. Once I put it into the candle wax, it's still amazing. Of course, they're not as strong once you make them into a candle, but still a good cold throw. Like if a customer was walking in and they smell this, they would get a good whiff of, or a good amount of fragrance from the candle jar. Okay, so let's get on, before I reveal the hot throw, let's get on to the fragrance notes. Okay, so I'm not surprised at any of these fragrance notes. Okay, so top fragrance notes are peppercorn, cardamom, bergamot. The middle notes are saffron, and of course incense. And this is a new one for me, paprika. I didn't even know that was a fragrance scent or note, but it says paprika. And then for the base, it has patchouli, and it has what is that? Vetiver. Okay, just look on the board and you will see I put it up there. I caught myself putting down in parentheses how to pronounce this word. I told you it's been a long day. Vetiver. Forget it. Okay. And tobacco leaves. Okay. So any of those fragrances, I am not surprised at all. But when I tell you, this smells like a candle that would definitely be a high-end candle. I mean, this could be holidays, this could be all year round, this could be a luxury brand. It just smells amazing. I can't say it's beautiful. It's not like a beautiful scent, but it's just an intense, provoking sense. I don't know. But anyway, so yes, I'm quite smitten with this. Okay, so, and I put in my notes, unexpected holiday scent, perfect for all year round. That's what I put. Okay, so for the cold throw, I put a 7.5, and for the hot throw, I put a 7. But this is such an amazing scent that is all you need in a hot throw, because it filled the room and you just walked in and you could just feel it. You could smell those base notes. This right here, I don't know what you're going to use it for. I don't know what you're going to name it, but please do it justice, because it is definitely worthy. But I really, really like this. So that is it for Marrakesh Market. And yeah, so you won't go wrong with that. Okay, so moving on to the next one. Let me see. Oh, yeah, I like this one too. And don't forget, I went in alphabetical order, so I didn't choose favorites just to make them be first. Okay, so this one is Sparkling Negroni. Sparkling Negroni. This, well, they had an image of like a beverage, a drink, on the CandleScience website. So out of the bottle, I gave this a cold throw of maybe a 6.5, because it's not very strong out of the bottle. But it makes you want to turn this up and drink it. Maybe it's a little concentrated for that, but it's a great, great scent. So, and here is the matching candle that I did the test candle with. And you can kind of see my test candles. See if it focuses in. Yeah, so that's pretty much what the information looks like on my test candles. So let's get into the fragrance notes. Top notes: orange peel, I get that, red currant, and champagne. And you definitely can get hit with that champagne. I've had candles that had the fragrance note champagne before, but I've never really been able to pick up the scent out of the fragrance. But with this one, I can pick up that champagne. And it smells amazing. The middle notes are gin, geranium, and clove. Definitely get all of those three. And the base is praline, peppercorn, and cedar. Boy, that cedar makes a great base. Keeps everything grounded, brings it right back down. So I tell you what, this one, it's a winner. It's a winner. It's not a strong fragrance, but it's definitely a fragrance that will fill the room. You will not go wrong with this. And again, I did it in C6 coconut soy wax, and it did fill up the room. Now this candle, I will say, yeah, I could see it all year round, definitely. But definitely a great holiday, depending again how you market it, what you name it, what you might consider blending it with. But definitely a great candle scent. So again, the cold throw out of the bottle was a 6.5, and the hot throw was about a 6.5 to a 7. So it had medium lightness, like fruitiness, champagne, like bubbles. And it was just a very playful, and you could get the hints of the fruit. Just a really, really, this is a scent that could just brighten up your day, brighten up your holidays. So that's what I think of that. Okay, last but not least is, I hope I'm saying this right, Yuzu Blossom. And can we get focused, please? There we go. Yuzu Blossom. Okay, and then there is the matching test candle along with the Yuzu Blossom. Okay, so Yuzu Blossom. So let me tell you about this, last of the Mohegans here. I waited the hour and I walked in the room and I was disappointed. And I said, oh, okay. All the rest of them have been just fine, and this is going to be my failure. So I thought, well, you know, I don't have a full melt pool yet, so let me just go ahead and give it its due chance, and, you know, just like I did for all of the rest of them. And I'll reveal the rest of that conversation as soon as I finish with the fragrance notes. Keep you in suspense. Okay, so Yuzu Blossom. Top notes are bergamot, grapefruit, and mandarin. Middle notes are passion fruit, jasmine, sea salt, and yuzu. And the base, once again, cedar and amber. Okay, so this fragrance here, this fragrance fooled me. I went back in the room after 2 hours to check the melt pool. And wow, did I get hit with Yuzu Blossom. It ended up being amazing. It is a subtle, gentle fragrance, but it's definitely there and all in the room. And, you know, and a lot of people don't like super strong fragrances because they're overpowering sometimes. Sometimes they give people headaches. And they want a subtle fragrance. This definitely, for the subtle fragrance that it is, had an amazing hot throw. So now imagine, I mean, I'm making these out of these small, you know, 7-ounce candle jars. So imagine if you have a 2-wick or a 3-wick, then your hot throw is going to be amazing because you've got 3 different wicks putting out the fragrance into the room. So I guess you could tell by now the final conclusion for all 6. They are all 6 winners, all 6 great hot throws. And I have never done a fragrance review where I loved every single scent and all of them had amazing hot throws. So if you're trying to build up your candle line and you're looking for some holiday candles or all year round candles, there's 6 right there. And now you may not like it. These are my preferences. I'm just one person. But I don't think they will disappoint you. Okay, so I know this was kind of a quickie review. And I just wanted to jump on here and give you the review for the upcoming fall and holiday season. I may have more to come. Yes, we are still in the background preparing for the candle making party. Don't you worry, we will not disappoint you with this. I wanted to do a Bridgerton thing, but everyone's like, oh, Sherry, you're asking for a lot. I know. I mean, we looked at costumes and everything. I thought, oh, wouldn't that be amazing? So for those of you who are planning candle making parties, maybe it's something you can consider down the road. And I may end up doing it somewhere down the road. Also, I want to say thank you to all of my current subscribers and my new subscribers. Thank you so much for joining us. And by the way, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, now would be a perfect time to hit that button down below and subscribe. And then you see that little bell, click on it, and then that way you will be updated every time I put up a new video. And also thank you to my private subscribers. And I think that's it. I'm going to make this a quickie, and I'm gonna go ahead and get to working on the next one, and I hope you enjoy this. I don't know, I always try to think at the end, is there anything that I left out? No, I think I thanked everyone. All the 6 candles were amazing. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so for right now, I'm just gonna say thank you for watching. Bye. See you next time.
There's no